All right, guys, it's Taco Tuesday here at Tone Wars. Actually, it's Monday, but who gives a crap? Today, I'm going to be checking out the Friedman Pink Taco version 1. Let's get started. Okay, so first of all, I want to thank Motor City Guitar for allowing me to take this amplifier home and check it out and demo it for you guys. They're a great store. They're kind of a pillar in our community here. All the musicians go there, hang out there, buy gear there, swap stories. You know, it's just a great place to go. They have an awesome staff and an amazing owner who's done a lot for musicians in this area. So if you're looking for some gear and a great deal on it, click the link below in the description and shop at Motor City Guitar and get something really cool for yourself, get a good deal on it, and they ship anywhere in the continental US. Okay, so right here I have the Friedman Pink Taco. It's an EL84 powered amplifier. It's a single channel amp, and this is the version 1 version of this amplifier. I guess there's really no other way to say that. So I'm gonna pretty much dial it in without the overdrive first, and then I'll commit sacrilege and turn on the overdrive and piss off a lot of basic bitch players out there, and you know, dial it in further with that. So I have it set at noon, and ooh, I gotta back the gain down to noon here. So I have everything set at noon now, and let's switch to the camera and just dial it in without the overdrive first, and again, I will click it on afterwards, and I'll warn you when it comes on, so all the sensitive people can go hide under a rock somewhere so they can avoid hearing it with an overdrive. All right, so the tone stack is pretty subtle. I mean, I did notice some subtle things when I turned the knobs all the way up, but it's pretty subtle, which is fine. So the mids didn't make it really honky. It just pushed it forward slightly when I cranked them all the way up. And the bass, in my opinion, it's all usable for the most part anyways. We'll see about that when I engage the overdrive pedal, but yeah, so far, pretty subtle stuff, and with the treble even, it just added a little more bite to it, but it wasn't too much. And there is an S switch, which I think on some of his amps is called the SAT switch for saturation. So you basically have 3 different gain stages in this amplifier. So I had it on the 3rd gain stage, apparently, when I was dialing it in. So let's go back to the 1st gain stage, and I'll switch between the 3 of them, and then I'll pick my favorite one. So I like the 3rd gain stage the best. That's the one where it's all the way over to the right, and you just have, you know, more gain. I like that feature because it's kind of cool. There's people that want less gain, or maybe a little bit more, but not so much, you know, for the 2nd gain stage, you get that in-between mode, you know. And then if you want like the most gain and aggression that this amp has to offer, just put it all the way over to the right and you'll get that. So now that I have it there, let's do some further dialing in, and then I'll engage the pedal. So as you notice, the treble knob doesn't do a ton. It does add a good amount of treble to it, but it's not too much. So I'll do that with all the knobs. I'll just crank them all the way up and see what I get. Well, that's a pretty usable tone, you know. Surprisingly, usually you can't crank all the knobs all the way up on amplifiers and make it sound good, but with this particular one, it works just fine. So, and I know tone is subjective, so it just depends, you know, on what you like. But, well, I'm going to go ahead and commit sacrilege now and turn on the mud killer now and, you know, probably cause some global warming and floods and tornadoes and earthquakes by committing such a horrible act, such as using an overdrive pedal on an amplifier. But I'm going to go ahead and do that now. And if you're driving an electric vehicle, you might want to pull over, because turning this pedal on could actually kill your battery. So, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm just telling you for your own safety to do that. So you've been warned. All right, so let's go ahead and turn that on now. I think I gave you guys enough time to park your cars. So let's go ahead and see what it sounds like with the overdrive. Yeah, sounds pretty freaking good. So let's dial it in further now that we have the pedal engaged. And let's hurry up though, because, you know, there's going to be earthquakes. Yeah, that sounds pretty freaking good with the mud killer. It really does. I like it. So these are the settings I ended up with. I mean, it's all pretty subjective. And again, these knobs are pretty subtle. So, you know, I mean, I think you could crank them all the way up and do just fine. And with the gain cranked all the way up, I mean, it's fine. It's not like it's overly saturated or anything. I mean, it's a very usable space on the gain knob. You can go anywhere you want. I just like how full and responsive it is with the gain where it's at. And with the S switch all the way over to the right, I just feel like it's got what I would look for anyways. I would minimally go all the way to the left, but all the way over to the right, it's more saturated and more, more responsive, at least for my taste. So now, what I'm going to do is I'll play a few more riffs with the mud killer, and then I'm going to switch to the KSR Eros, which actually when I was doing sound checks with the amplifier, it actually really woke it up even more and gave it even more edge and more aggression. And we're kind of getting over into metal territory with the KSR Eros pedal. And basically how I have it set up is it's in fat mode with the dirt switch engaged. And yeah, it really does wake it up quite a bit. So again, we're still on the Mud Killer, but when you see me reach down, that means I'm switching from the Mud Killer to the KSR Eros. Yeah, that's really nasty with that pedal. So what I would probably want to do is back the gain down a little bit. So let's find the sweet spot with that pedal. That actually works out really well. You know, man, KSR Eros is a great pedal to have. You know, it's very versatile, and if you have an amplifier that's just not cutting it for you regarding aggression, just kick that on, and it'll definitely kick it in the ass and give it what you need, you know. So with the Mud Killer and with the KSR Eros, I think this amp sounds really good. Some people say it's kind of dark, but I don't really hear like overly dark tones coming here. I just hear a really thick you know, tone coming out of it. It's thick, it's really responsive with the pedal, and there's no annoying frequencies coming out of it. I mean, it's got a very, very good sound, a lot of good articulation there. You know, so for an EL84 amp, I think it sounds really good, because a lot of times with EL84 amps, you get that spiky top end, and I'm not getting that here at all. Even with the treble cranked all the way up, it's still not doing it. So I actually think, you know, the overall tone on this amplifier is really good. So yeah, I mean, I think it's a great amplifier. Friedman amps are kind of hit and miss with me, because I'm not a classic rock guy. I'm more of a modern, you know, metal guy, and I like stuff with a lot of aggression, but this actually has been pretty cool to play through. I'll tell you what, let's just hear it in a quick mix, and then we'll end the video. Okay, well there you have it. You have the Pink Taco dialed in with and without the overdrive pedal, and with a couple of different pedals, and in a full mix. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm glad that I had a chance to check one of these out, and once again, shout out to Motor City Guitar. Thank you so much for allowing me to take this home and review it. Well, thanks for watching, appreciate it. To all my subscribers and Patreon supporters, thank you so much. And if you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe and click the bell so that you can be notified every time I either go live or come out with a new video. And if you like the video, please hit the old thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. Well, I got a lot more stuff coming up for you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.